In this video we are going to talk about everything about dessert wine. So before starting this video, like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for future updates. Dessert wines offer debauched and tasty choices to improve and hoist the after-supper drinking experience. When matched in a calculated manner, a sweet wine can transform a last course into remarkable tastes and goes overboard. Whether it is red, white, effervescent, still or sustained, a treat wine is an ideal nearer and will have trademark pleasantness and intricacy. Shockingly, dessert wines are frequently neglected and exist beyond the scope of even the most experienced and generally inspected wine devotees. They are frequently undervalued or even new, passing on a botched and open door to make a unique dish and sweet wine pair. While there isn't an industry meaning of what comprises a pastry wine, among winemakers and specialists, these wines are extensively viewed as new wines that most regularly pair with a sweet. Or on the other hand, that might be filled in as a last course to a dinner that likewise measure at or over 14% liquor content. These wines hang out in style, taste and artifact as well as feel. Dessert wines are normally stopped, confined or covered in specialty bottles that are much of the time slender, with long tightening necks to remain in a classification all their own. Tasting notes. Dessert wines are vinified into many styles, bragging a wide-reach pleasantness which considers different matching, satisfaction and smooth maturing. Most pastry wines will fall into a daintily sweet, luxuriously sweet, sweet red, shining or invigorated class like a sherry and port. Each communicates one-of-a-kind tasting notes, flavor profiles and drinking encounters. Our French and treat wine master Atanas Nechkov shares that a typical misguided judgment is that all new wines are sweet wines. He explains that a normal mix-up is to believe each new wine to be treat wine. Just the most thought and full-bodied qualify as treat wines. The strategy for making a pastry wine relies upon the district, environment and winemaking rehearses. There are three essential ways of making new wines, including the late reaping of grapes, the activity of honorable decay to raisinate the grapes, or by adding cognac to stop maturation and safeguard the regular grape sugars that recognize dessert wines. While each style will be particular in taste, shared characteristics of pastry wines incorporate extraordinary and concentrated flavors, elevated degrees of remaining sugar and wealth. Atanas adds that you ought to hope to appreciate fragrances and kinds of dried natural products: pineapple, brilliant raisins, apricot jam, energy natural product, acacia, honey and ginger notes for the whites, and ready, jammy smells of currant, blackberry, plum, dark cherry, cocoa bean and butterscotch for the reds. There is likewise a wide determination of treat wine glasses that are frequently essentially as novel as the wines. Attempt a tulip, jewel, or woodwind shape to pour and serve chilled. Prominent regions. Dessert wines are made all over the planet, where the environment frequently loans to the winemaking procedure used to make new wines. The most broadly perceived and celebrated dessert wine nations incorporate France, Germany, Italy, Hungary, Portugal and Spain. In France, the Sauternes locale of Bordeaux is valued for a shocking sweet white wine that highlights honeyed white foods grown from the ground flavors, as well as the Loire Valley's Quartz de Chaume epithet, where Chenin Blanc grapes are utilized to make a brilliant and benevolent treat wine. Germany's commitments to dessert wines incorporate Eiswein, Auslese, Beerenauslese and Trockenbeerenauslese, all styles that highlight late or chose collect grapes basically from the Rhine district that are likewise wanted for their propping sharpness. Italy gifts Vinsanto from Tuscany, which communicates with caramel and hazelnut flavors, Ricciotto della Valpolicella, a sweet red produced using dried grapes, and Ricciotto di Soave, a sweet white made in a similar style. Recommended pairings. Dessert wines, obviously, are most frequently delighted in after supper with a pastry matching. Nonetheless, with such countless styles and flavors, they likewise make astonishing aperitifs, incredible cheddar or exquisite pairings, as well as independent sippers. There are a couple of tips shared from our wine expert that will assist you with making splendid pairings. Preceding serving, consider pleasantness cautiously to guarantee that your treat choice isn't better than the wine. A pastry that is better than the wine can invalidate the taste and flavor. The most joyful match is a not-too-sweet pastry and an unassumingly new wine. Consider poached natural product, citrus or nut tarts, or even creme brulee. A Spanish sherry with flan or a caramelly Madeira with banana cultivates will change your day. Moreover, there are time-tested pairings that are generally deserving of plating and pouring: foie gras with a Sauternes, a port and Stilton blue cheddar or walnut pie. Atanas additionally reminds that sweet wines are phenomenal for maturing. Every one of these exemplary treat-style wines share another vital element. Practically speaking, they are the longest-lived wines in the basement. This implies you can gather and prize these wines. 5 main types of dessert wine. Shining dessert wine. The carbonation and high corrosiveness in shining wine makes it taste less sweet than it really is. Certain grape assortments smell better than others. Softly sweet dessert wine. Softly dessert wines are refreshingly sweet, ideal for a warm evening. Large numbers of these dessert wines pair well with zesty food sources like Indian or Southeast Asian cooking. Luxuriously sweet dessert wine. Luxuriously dessert wines are made with the greatest grapes in an unfortified style. A large number of these wines can mature 50+ years since pleasantness and corrosiveness saved their new flavor. Late harvest. Late collect means precisely exact thing it's called. As grapes hold tight the plant longer in the season, they become considerably better and more raisinated, bringing about grapes with concentrated pleasantness. Honorable rot. Honorable decay is a kind of spore called Botrytis cinerea that eats leafy foods. While it sounds and looks sickening, honorable decay adds exceptional kinds of ginger, saffron, and honey to new wines. There are numerous well-known kinds of treat wines produced using respectable decay grapes. Sweet red wine. Sweet reds are on decline aside from modest business creation. Nonetheless, there are as yet a couple of very much made generally intriguing sweet reds worth difficult. Most of these wonderful sweet red wines are from Italy utilizing obscure grapes. Fortified wine. Braced wines are made when grape liquor is added to a wine and can either be dry or sweet. Most braced wines are higher in liquor content, around 17 to 20% ABV, and have a more drawn-out time span of usability after they are opened. Port. Port wine is made in the northern piece of Portugal along the Douro stream. These intriguing sweet red wines are made with many Portuguese conventional grapes, including Touriga Nacional, Touriga Franca, and Tinta Roriz. The grapes are gathered and matured together in open tanks where the grapes are stepped every day as the wine ages. Sherry. Sherry comes from Andalusia, Spain. The wines are made utilizing Palomino, Pedro Jimenez, a grape, not an individual, and Moscatel grapes. Wines are delivered utilizing fluctuating measures of the 3 grapes and are intentionally oxidized with the goal that they create nutty aromatics. Madeira. Madeira is a wine delivered utilizing something like 4 unique grapes on the island in the Atlantic Ocean. Madeira is exceptionally not normal for different wines on the grounds that, to create it, the wines go through a warming and oxidation process procedures that would customarily ruin a wine. The outcome is a rich braced wine with pecan-like flavors, saltiness and a slickness on the sense of taste. Due to the 4 distinct grapes utilized, Madeira range from dry to sweet, making them function admirably close by a feast or even as a pre-supper drink. What do you think about this video? Do let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.